United States Navy, arrival. Same Chief Petty Officer, retired, United States Navy, arrival. Sergeant Prestigiuos, 2-1, arrival. Color guard, gray color.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order. Arms. Right. Face.
Retirement colors.
Mark time. March. Half step. March. Left. Face.
Same Chief Petty Officer. We are gathered here today to celebrate Chief Mirailh's 20 years of military service. The ceremony you're about to witness has a long history. In the late 1700s, the U.S. Navy set sail for new ideas, new goals, and a desire to build traditions that will last through a test of time. The U.S. Navy led the way with providing honors to crewmen. In the 1800s, saw enlisted men holding retirements for enlisted men for the first time. The captain will allow the jolly boats will take the enlisted retirees ashore. Then, after the Civil War, commanding officers began to hold enlisted retirement ceremonies to show the crew that he and the Navy recognize the contributions of enlisted sailors. We are gathered here today to continue this tradition and witness the final stage of a very honorable and productive 20-year military career. We are also gathered to say thank you to a great nation, to a great shipment. Thanks for the many contributions in which, in your own unique way, have made our Navy a stronger and more capable force in the never-ending fight for peace in the sometimes troubled world. Thank you for being the type of leader that has ensured the next generation of sailors are ready to meet the challenges for tomorrow. Just as this is the end of one phase of your life, it is the beginning of another. So our gathering today gives us opportunity to wish you every success in the future as you look forward to your new challenges and rewards. I would also like to welcome distinguished guests, Commodore Appleby, friends, family of Chief Morale, and the men and women of Littoral Combat Ship Squadron 2, Service Division 2-1, and the crews of the LCS ships here in the basin. Thank you for taking a few moments out of your busy day to bid farewell to our fellowship family. Last but certainly not least, I would like to extend an especially warm welcome to Alex Piper, Shauna, son Tristan, and Rocco. Let's not forget Rocco. He's probably at home right now chewing on his spike pads. His parents, Charles and Mark Morale, his brothers, Charles, Paul, and Brandon, his mother and father-in-law, Linda and Jim Ackerman, as well as his aunt and uncle, Regina and Mark Morale. He would also like to remember his great-aunts, Kathleen and Mark Wall, as well as his grandmother, Margarita Morale, who are looking down from the heavens above. I know that you, more than any one of us, are vividly aware of the sacrifices that Alex has made in the service of our country. I speak for all our shipmates when I say how pleased we are to have you here today. Thank you. Commodore Appleby will now deliver his opening remarks.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks everybody for attending today. Big day for Chief here and going into retirement. First of all, you picked the right guest speaker. He promoted you on your last day.
That's right.
I guess you're senior chief now. You're out of uniform.
I'll take it, sir.
I'll think about myself.
So, quick history of my relationship with chiefs. My very first two chiefs, when I was an ensign, got fired. One was an OSC, ironically. His was for sexual harassment. My RMC, Master Chief Sassnger, RMC, got fired for falsifying a travel claim. So my first ship, I thought chiefs sucked. And the reason I tell you that is, since then, all I've worked with and for are superstar chiefs. And we're recognizing one here today. Since I've been at Surface Division last July when we stood up the command, nobody has ever said anything but great things about Chief. So I appreciate your hard work and the short time we got to work together. I wish it could have been a little bit longer. Now another quick funny story I heard, and I can't remember, for the life of me I can't remember who told me this. It was about 2 days ago, about attending a soccer game, I think it was, with one of your kids and whoever told me the story. So if you're out there, remind me, any of you? No, I guess not. Somebody back of the. That you work out while you're watching the soccer game. Stop doing that. You're retired now. You gotta watch your kids play. Okay. So anyway, again, thank you for asking me to be your presiding officer and give a few quick opening remarks, and I'll leave it to the real person here who's here to be your guest speaker. Thanks.
Thank you, Commodore Appleby. It gives me great pleasure to introduce today's guest speaker, Senior Chief, retired, Canadian veteran.
See, I love Alex so much I gave him a promotion. Well, God bless you, and thank you for coming to honor Alex on this very special day. First, I would like to say thank you to Alex's wife, Shauna, and his son Tristan for supporting Alex during his naval career. Thank you. I would also like to thank his parents for lending him to us and to the nation for a time. You're probably looking at the program and notice a striking difference between the guest speaker and myself. Actually, I'm Alex's second choice. Thank you,
I'll explain that when I get it.
I was worried about what to say today. I was trying to come up with some funny anecdotes and some jokes, awesome Navy stories. I thought, what way can I honor Alex's service and still keep it short like he asked? One thought came to mind. If you know Alex, Do you know about his power of positive persuasion? Right? See, you're laughing. You know about that, right? Alex has a way of being so positive, making everything seem like a really good idea, right? You just want to do it because you know what he says can happen. We can make it happen, right? Well, thanks to Alex convincing me that CrossFit was the cure-all for everything, I am now eligible for disability in PA. Thank you, Alex. But the real reason why Alex is able to convince and motivate people is because of the love that he has. He has so much love inside him. I want to read you something that'll really bring it to light. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. And now these three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. That's 1 Corinthians 13. Love is very powerful. You have heard that people say that it moves mountains. That is metaphorical. But we can see the power of love through Alex's 20 years of service. People have the misconception of the military that sailors and soldiers that they serve are brave beyond the normal citizen. What is true is that they really serve much closer to home. We do what we must for our mothers, our fathers, our siblings, husbands and wives, children, and our loved ones. It is not easy to walk away from our cities or boroughs, to go to a place of danger and spend months and even years away from them. Why do we do it? We do it for love. Alex has always shown this love for 20 years. When a sailor reaches the point in his service, he has decided to move on to civilian life. He has so much to look forward to. More time with his family, being able to schedule his own trips overseas without taking 400 people along with him, and picking out his own clothes, other than CrossFit. But we do miss something, or we think that we will miss something. That is the love of our brothers and sisters in uniform. Alex, don't worry. Just like you called me yesterday, because of the love you have shown all of us in this nation, someone will also call you. So be ready and continue to answer the call. Thank you.
Thanks, Big Mitch. Commodore Appleby will now present Chief Morale's Retirement Award. Chief Petty Officer Morale, front and center. Will the guests please rise? Notorious Service, correction. Department of the Navy, this is certified, the Secretary of the Navy has awarded Navy and Marine Corps combination of Gold Star Outstanding Award, 2, Gold Star Outstanding Award, 2, Chief Operations Specialist, Surface Warfare, Alexander Morale. United States Navy Corps, Notorious Service, while serving as Mission Liaison Officer and Indoctrination Coordinator. Littoral Combat Ship Squadron 2 and Service Division 2-1 from July 2015 to March 2019. Displaying superior operational expertise, Chief Morale was instrumental in supporting the delivery, sail away, and subsequent testing of USS Little Rock. He scheduled 17 operational requests for underway services and ensured seamless lines of communication between LCS Run 2 and LCS Program officers to accomplish crew training, move board, interface testing, combat systems, ships qualification, trials, testing, and sea trials. Superior performance of duties highlights the culmination of 20 years of honorable and dedicated naval service. Chief Morale's superlative performance, steadfast perseverance, and outstanding devotion to duty reflected great credit upon himself and upheld the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. Given this day, 22 March, signed, Warren R. Appleton, Captain, United States Navy, Commander, Service Division 2-1. Will the guests please be seated? Commodore Appleby will also present multiple letters of appreciation to Chief Mirai. Please hold your applause until all the awards have been presented. Commodore Appleby will now present letters of recognition from the following. Presidential letter of appreciation from former President Bill Clinton. Dear Chief Mirai, I am pleased to join you and your family and friends in congratulating you on your retirement from the United States Navy. You have served our country with distinction and honor, and you can be proud of your contributions to our national security and to the peace around the world. I'm delighted to send you my best wishes as you celebrate your milestone and your years of military service. Signed, sincerely, Bill Clinton. Chief Mirai will also receive letters of appreciation from the Governor of the State of New York. State of New York Executive Chamber, certificate of appreciation presented to Chief Petty Officer Alexander Mirai in recognition of your distinguished career of 20 years of the United States Navy. On behalf of all New Yorkers, please know that you have our deepest respect and gratitude for your exemplary service. Your tremendous bravery, commitment, determination, and patriotism are truly commendable. Congratulations and best wishes for your continued success in all your future endeavors. Award is 24th day of October, the year of 2018. Patriotism are truly commendable. Congratulations and best wishes for your continued success in all your future endeavors. Award is 24th day of October, the year of 2018. Signed, Andrew M. Cuomo, Governor. Recognizing that Chief Mirai could not have achieved his many accomplishments alone, we would now like to recognize the contributions of his family. Ushers, please escort Chief Mirai's father, Charles, mother Margaret, and brothers, Charles, Paul, and Brandon. Wife Shauna, son Tristan. Today, after completing over 20 years of active service, your son, father, and brother, and husband has ended his career of honorable and faithful service to his country. With his efforts are sincerely appreciated. Such a rich and rewarding career reflects a strong commitment to the principles of freedom and democracy, and the belief that they must be upheld at any cost. That type of total commitment is not possible without the full support of the entire family. Although you and me have never had to carry out military order or deploy in hospital orders, the loyalty and steadfast support of your son's career can rightfully be viewed as service to your country. That loyalty and dedication will significant courses of strength of your son during all of his duty and exemplify the highest traditions of patriotism. On behalf of the recreation, the Department of the Navy, and the officers and enlisted sailors of the Service Division 2-1, I extend you a sincere thanks and express our appreciation for a job well done. Given this 22nd day of March 2019, signed, Warren R. Appleby, Captain, Commander of Service Division 2-1. Thank you all. I cannot imagine how proud it must have been of your son, your father, your husband, and your brother. You messed me up, y'all. All right. Chief Mirai will now present flowers and gifts to his family as a small token of appreciation for the sacrifices that they have made in support of his career.
Stand off to the side. A Navy wife. The Navy wife, like her civilian counterpart, must keep house, wash clothes, and shop for groceries. Like any other wife, a Navy wife takes an active part in her local and civic activities of her community, and in this Navy wife's case, her own career that she pursues. But that's about it where the similarities end. The Navy wife is a rare and unique breed of woman. She has many good opportunities that other wives don't. She has responsibilities and hardships heaped upon her that other wives couldn't cope with, all while being a strong and independent woman, doing it on her own. Shuttling Tristan back and forth between school events, soccer games, and other things that boys love to do, right? But as always, it seems as if the ship or the squadron departure suddenly trigger the gremlins into action that disrupt normally well-run households. The household appliances or family cars always seem to wait until the Navy man deploys onto deployment to break down, and the children suddenly develop problems that just didn't exist when Dad was home. And even when all of that stuff sounds like a lot, she somehow deals with it, and it's just the normal stuff to her. Yes, the Navy wife is unique in that she is a housewife, a mother, father, career woman, doctor, teacher, a personal chef, and whatever it is that the day or night may call for her to do, all in one. Yet she plays an important and needed role in her husband's career in the Navy. Whether it be short-term or lifetime career, 14 years she has held her own and made it look effortless. She has been the anchor to her husband's heart and a true role model for her son Tristan. Her attitude towards and her understanding of her husband's part in the Navy can be a liability or an asset. But how does she do it? Simply, she understands her role as a Navy wife, her inherent responsibility to other Navy wives, and that she is indeed part of the Navy. She feels the pride of belonging to the Navy team and recognizes that she too is a representative of the United States and the Navy, just as her husband is. There is no other woman in the world like the Navy wife. She is indeed unique. She is indeed rare. Shauna, you are indeed unique and you are indeed rare. Thank you for your service and your support. Navy wives, we salute you, for without you, the great Navy of ours would not be what it is today.
Thank you, Madonna. Would all Chief Petty Officers, past and present, please stand and cover for the reading of the Chief Petty Officer's retirement creed. Retired Chief Petty Officer Gino will read the Chief Petty Officer's retirement creed.
Go Yankees. Really? Same height too. We're good. Alex, you have this day experienced that which comes to all of us who serve in our Navy. I say our Navy because your departure from duty in no way terminates your relationship, regard, or obligation to the United States Navy and your fellow Chief Petty Officer. By law and tradition, U.S. Navy retirees are always on the road, ever ready to lend their service when the need arises. The respect that you earn as the Chief was based on the same attribute that you will now carry into retirement. You should have no regrets and should not view your retirement as an end of an era, but rather as order to a new and challenging assignment to and form of independent duty. Remember, well, that you have been and will always be an accepted member of the most exclusive of the maritime fraternities, that of the United States Chief Petty Officer. Active duty, Chief, salute you, and salute, ready, salute. Retiree, Chief, welcome you. Welcome, Alex. And wish you the traditional farewell and final seas. Congratulations.
When a person retires from the Navy, it's tradition to present them with a shadow box. The tradition of presenting a shadow box to a retiring sailor in the form of early operating custom. In the days of sale, when Brigham moved to seas, it was considered bad luck for a sailor upon final departure from a ship to allow his shadow to hit the pier before he himself departed the ship. In order to ensure not so much of his portion will involve their shipmate, the crew will construct a box of the finest timber and place within it all things that reflected his accomplishments. Only then could the man with the shadow of himself safely depart the ship and go ashore once and for all. Ladies and gentlemen, Senior Chief Petty Officer Rodney Downs will present Chief Morale with his retirement shadow box on behalf of the Chief Petty Officer Vessel.
Just a quick note on this, Josh Watts, Chief Josh Watts made this. He couldn't be here today, but this is just phenomenal. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Operations Specialist Chief Alexander Moran.
Time coming, J-Dub, where are you at? I know we've talked about this. You know what's up. Good morning, Commodore Appleby. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here for the men and women of civilian both men and women, both military and civilian, LCS Round 2, Service Division 2-1, and the crew members in attendance, my family, friends. I want to thank you for taking time out to be here. It means a lot to me. And Chief Carlos Davila, if he's in here, I want to wish him a happy birthday. He might not be in here, but that's fine. As you see on the program, John Fields could not be here today. He called me a couple days ago and said his mom was diagnosed with a rare form of leukemia, so he couldn't be here, but I don't get here without him. He's my guy, my buddy, so I hope the best for him and his mom going forward, and he's definitely missed. I called Danny Mitchell yesterday. I was on the fence of wanting a guest speaker or not, just leaving it as is. I texted him. People said reach out to him. All he said was, I got you. And that's just how it goes. That's how it goes with Danny. All class, all professional, and a good friend. So I appreciate it, Danny. Thanks for doing that. Jeff and Linda Ackerman couldn't be here. Shauna's parents, my in-laws. I don't stand here without them as well. So just understand that. The sacrifice they made for us, I wouldn't be here. So, Jim Valvano, 1983, NC State Wolfpack. I know Commodore Johnson would like that. He said, every day ordinary people do extraordinary things. So I just want to highlight some of the people, the men and women here, who have done that, who have been part of my life over the last couple of years, military-wise, that are here and are not here retired. I see Joey Store out there. I appreciate it, Joey. Thanks so much, Kaz. Kaz, for doing all this, putting this all together. You're number one, man. I appreciate it. Flawless. Keith Duran, you're the man. Thank you, brother. Guys like Matt Plato, Carlos Davila, Angel Madrano, Genuine Lat, Todd Thomas, Brian Nation, Phil Rahim, J Dub. Thanks, brother. Deb, I see you out there. I see you sneaking in. Thank you. Greg Johnson, the Hooyah Warrior, who's probably out in California. We miss him today. My guy Larry Brown, one of my first guys on the first ships, Domingo Garcia, who's going to be here, my first LPO turned chief. RJ Runyon, the chief on the chute, kind of mirrored him and what he was doing and kind of trying to walk in his shoes. Omar Lee, Josh Watts, Ben Carnes, James Montgomery, Dan Simmons, Danny Mitchell, Gino, thank you. There's a lot more here, but I appreciate everybody. Lou Holtz, former college football coach, and as you can see, I like to do a lot of quotes and I like to read from a lot of stories. I read a lot about successful people, so renowned public speaker, described his childhood as this: I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I really was. I was born during the Depression. My dad had a third-grade education. We had one bedroom for my sister, myself, and my parents. We had a kitchen. We had a half bath that did not have a tub, a shower, or a sink. There was no welfare, no food stamps, no safety net. Where's that water? I'm going to need that soon. And I was taught that if I made good choices, no matter what happened in life, if I got an education, worked hard, and didn't blame other people, I can have very positive things happen to me. I was not unwanted, I was not unexpected, I was not unloved. It isn't what you have, it's what you were taught about the values of life. Of course, Lou and I grew up, I skipped something. There was no welfare, no food stamps, no safety net. The reason why I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, because I was born in this country. Sorry for skipping that. Of course, Lou and I grew up in two different periods of life, but I feel the message was similar. Being born in this country, receiving my education in the Navy, and making good decisions, among other things, was and is extremely important to me. My good decision joining the Navy, and as far as being born in this country. The flag means everything, and having the opportunity of serving my country, retiring today as Chief, is easily my biggest professional accomplishment. Now, it was not that bad growing up in Brooklyn in the 80s and 90s, but the reason I share that short quote with you is because of when he said I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, because I was born in this country. There was no country like the USA. At a young age, I felt the same way, stepping in a role as a Navy sailor. I definitely felt that resonated with me on a whole other level. Pride. Straight up pride. Pride that is exhibited as your 15-year-old. Stands with his heart. Stand with his hand on his heart on the soccer field prior to playing. Or stands up in class, hand over his heart for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pride when you put on anchors for the first time, or here, Chief, can you help me for the first time? Pride. This almost didn't happen. Like many of us, we say, I'm doing my 4 years and getting out. Almost happened, but it wasn't in the cards. Then in my 10, 11-year mark, the thought of another deployment made me say it's time. But with 2 weeks left, 2 weeks, I'm calling it a day, Sean and I talked, and it just wasn't time. I refocused and really set my sight on the end. For the last almost 4 years, I've been part of the retirement ceremonies, or just having attended them for support of a shipmate departing. I always thought to myself, what will my message be? Can I cover the last 20 years of service, and most important, highlight the people that have made an extreme impact in my life, as allowed my family and I continue this journey until now. My career is highlighted in the program, so no point in going over that. Let's move to the people who drove me to be the person I am today. First, my Uncle Mark and Aunt Regina. Traveled here from North Carolina. Mark served 40 years with the NYPD. The highest grade detective you can be. A veteran himself. I couldn't be at his retirement ceremony, so for you to be here is an honor. A true patriot. Regina, always welcoming, a source of strength. Thank you for being here as well. A kid from New York, you know, Brooklyn. Grew up eating tremendous amounts of bagels and pizza. Played stickball in the park and basketball in the summer until the street lights came on. Watching Yankee baseball, right, Gino? Yeah. My parents, blue-collar parents, worked hard to support us. Schools, Catholic schools, sports, it was never perfect, but we made things happen. They made things happen. And my dad, a veteran himself, always believed in the decision for me to be here, to serve. Knew it will set me up for the next chapter. It has. Thanks for being my corner, Pop. My mother. The most selfless human being on this planet. All she ever wanted was for her boys to succeed and be safe. She sings in a choir. I got to see her at midnight mass this past Christmas. For the first time ever. She was so excited I was there. But it was I who couldn't have been more proud. She didn't notice, but I was wiping away tears as she sang. What a moment. It was an opportunity for me to witness her talent and contribution to the church. And for me, that moment is something I'll never forget. Power of belief. Just a quick story. Not a lot of people know this. It was Wednesday before the Chiefs results came out in 2013. And my mother, knowing that I had been grinding, working extremely hard, sacrificing a lot to wear anchors for the last couple of years, knowing what it would mean to me, calls me and tells me she had a dream. She said, Alex, I dreamt you called me and said, guess who you're talking to? Meaning I made chief. Now you have to understand, I believe this was my third try. So she says that, and I can only wish. I had a good feeling, but you never know. When that Friday comes along, sitting at my desk at the recruiting station, and my buddy from California texts me saying congrats. I said, for what? He texts me the snapshot of the list. Immediately I think of my mom and her dream. So I wait for a couple minutes, trying to get my stuff together, and then make the call. I said, Mo. She said, yeah. I said, guess who you talking to? Now, if you know my mother, you know that tears probably didn't stop for quite a while. It was her belief, her attitude of you will get it one day that kept me going. When I joined, I just wanted to make my family proud and not let them down, and I hope I have done that. Thank you, Mama. I have 3 brothers. One couldn't be here today. My youngest memory, my oldest brother, Charlie. It's me going with him on his paper route in the pouring rain. I didn't care. He bought me my first Yankee hat, and for a kid growing up in Brooklyn, well, the Yankee hat was everything. He is my big brother. I want to be around him always. Today is missed for sure, and I just want him to know he's the type of person, father, husband, and brother, and son I strive to be. My youngest brother, Brandon, I'm proud of you. Life has thrown you curveballs for sure, but I believe your finest days are ahead. I believe in you. Remember, 100 no's to get 1 yes. Your path is yet to be determined, and I look forward to you crushing life and being successful wherever you land. Love you, brother. To my brother Paul, closest in age. Being close in age, we're very close. So when I know I left at 19, it was hard. Well, let me tell you a quick story, and you'll understand what kind of individual he is. He is married and has 2 incredible sons. He never talks about his accomplishments. Nor my son did this, or my son did that. It's not him. It's not about him. It's not about his kids. About 2 years ago, and I kept this fresh in my mind this day. We went home for Christmas. His first son, Jude, plays the piano. Had been for a couple years now. Sat down to play for the family. His feet not even touching the floor. That's how young he is, or was. When he started to play, my eyes immediately welled up. And I had to muster all the strength I had in my body not to break down. Not from sadness, from pure joy of seeing his son do something that many others cannot do. What Jude did that day exemplified the father Paul has become. Patient, attentive, and willing to allow his son to believe that anything he sets his mind to, he can do. Truly amazing. Brother, thank you for making the trip. I love you. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson says, always be the hardest worker in the room. Well, for me, it has been my wife, Shauna. I do not tell her enough. So, babe, there is no one like you with respect to drive and willingness to succeed. She is an entrepreneur, a business owner, a mom, a wife, and many other incredible things. The road here has not been easy by all means, but I believe it was worth it. I love you, baby. And my son, Tristan, AB student, competitive soccer player, AR, volunteers this time with Special Olympics, and soon will be out on the road, cruising in a car when he gets his license in a month or two. We came here in July of 2015, and for him leaving Washington State at 12 years old, his friends, all he has known is tough. So what he did when he got here is he excelled. He made all-conference player as a 7th grader, tried out for Jack's Armada a year later, and rose to the highest level of play, United States Developmental Academy, and did well in school. He just completed a varsity season for the Fletcher Senators, in which his team made to the state semifinals. Phil Rahim, you hear me telling stories about him all day. Ala Madrid, that's a Madrid fan right there. And yes, he started all but one game as a sophomore. Life as a military kid, I'm sure, is not an easy one, buddy. I know I'm hard on you at times. I know you have the potential to be great. My bags are packed when you make it to the Premier League or the U.S. squad. You're the chief now. So what do all these people have in common? Mettle. M-E-T-T-L-E. Defined as the ability to meet a challenge or persevere under demanding circumstances. Many of us in this room can probably relate to this word. Getting knocked down and then getting back up. Having the resolve to not give up and keep pounding at life. 20 years, 1 month, 26 days to be exact. Lastly, I challenge all of you, and I will challenge myself to ask yourself, what am I capable of in life? Write your own story. Don't forget to stop and smell the roses at times. Life is too short not to. And for the chiefs in the room, here's a little reminder of the influence that our anchors carry. And this was many years ago. 120 miles northwest of Cape Esperance, near the Solomon Islands, the USS William B. Preston, dated February 19, 1942. Battle damage report: completed night engagement with Japanese cruiser-destroyer force. Sustained numerous shell hits midships. Shells penetrated frame 139, 1 foot above the waterline. Several sheared rivets and port shell plating, frame 137 above waterline. Shell plating at the point dished outward. Deck and compartment Delta Tech 204 TAC Lima ruptured by shrapnel in several places beneath hit. Shrapnel hole 4 inches in diameter through bottom of ship, frame 137, 1 foot inboard of port shaft. After deck house almost completely destroyed by explosion and resultant fire. All appendices on main deck for a distance of 40 feet destroyed by explosion and shrapnel, including motor launch blown overboard, and 2 25-man life floats. After towing and hawser reel destroyed by fire, shrapnel holes through various topside appendices, including stacks forward to and after bulkhead of the galley deck house. Number 2, 4-inch gun placed out of action by shrapnel damage to breech. Burial C conducted 14 officers and crew. 21 wounded. Commander Burke, I am concerned about being able to continue my mission. I have lost my officer, most of my officers, and many of my crew. From Commander Task Unit 64.2.1, I received your battle damage report. You still have Navy Chiefs. You know what to do. Good hunting, Arleigh Burke sends. Thank you. God bless you all, the Navy, and always the USA. Thank you.
Station, the flag detail.
Forward, march. detail. Hold.
I am the flag of the United States of America. My name is Old Glory. I fly atop the world's tallest buildings. I stand watch in America's halls of justice. I fly majestically over great institutions of learning. I stand guard with the greatest military power in the world. Look up, see me. I stand for peace, honor, truth, and justice. I stand for freedom. I am confident. I am arrogant. I am proud. When I am flown with my fellow banners, my head is a little higher, my colors a little truer. I bow to no one. I am recognized all over the world. I am worshipped, I am saluted, I am respected. I am revered, I am loved, and I am feared. I have fought in every battle of every war for more than 200 years. Gettysburg, Shiloh, Appomattox, San Juan Hill, trenches of France, Argonne Forest, Anzio, Rome, beaches of Normandy, Guam, Okinawa, Taro, Korea, Vietnam, the Persian Gulf, and scores of places long forgotten by all except those who were there with me. I was there. I led my sailors and Marines. I followed them. I watched over them. They loved me. I was on a small hill on Iwo Jima. I was dirty, battle-worn, and tired, but my sailors and Marines cheered me, and I was proud. I was at Ground Zero in New York City on September 11th as cowardly fanatics attacked America. I was raised from the ashes of once proud buildings by brave firefighters, heroes who risked their lives to save others, showing all that America, although bloody, will never be beat. Those who would destroy me cannot win, for I am the symbol of freedom, of one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I have been soiled, burned, torn, trampled in the streets of my own country. And when it is by those with whom I have served in battle, it hurts, but I shall overcome, for I am strong. I have slipped the surly bonds of earth, and from my vantage point on the moon, I stand watch over the uncharted new frontiers of space. I have been a silent witness to all of America's finest hours, but my finest hour comes when I am torn into strips, to be used as bandages for my wounded comrades on the field of battle, when I fly half-mast to honor my sailors, and when I lie in the trembling arms of a grieving mother at the sight of her fallen son or daughter. I am proud. My name is Old Glory. Long may I wave, dear God, long may I wave.
Detail, post. This flag was flown from flag staff, USS Mayport.
For 20 years, this sailor stood the watch. While some of us were in our bunks at night, this sailor stood the watch. While some of us were in school learning our trade, this shipmate stood the watch. Yes, even before some of us were born, this shipmate stood the watch. In those years when the storm clouds of war were seen brewing on the horizon of history, this shipmate stood the watch. Many times he would cast an eye ashore and see his family standing there, needing his guidance, his help, needing that hand to hold during hard times. But still, he stood the watch. He stood the watch for 20 years. He stood the watch so that we, our families, and our fellow countrymen could sleep soundly in safety each and every night, knowing that a sailor stood the watch. Today, we're here to say, shipmate, the watch stands relieved by those you've trained, guided, and led. Shipmate, you stand relieved. We have the watch.
Boys 1 Cruise Ponte will now relieve Chief Morale. Bosun, stand by the pipe side. This order has been passed on naval ships from the early 1500s to the day. Spanish, French, Dutch, and English. Yes, every navy in the world has used the bosun call the sideboards to bring aboard or send ashore its officers and visiting dignitaries. The bosun pipe will pipe the side as the sideboards lay off the lines used to raise and lower the boarding platform. This was done so that officers and visiting dignitaries were not to climb aboard the ship using rack lines that the crew used. The ship's master, or captain, would also extend his privilege and honor to port officials to ensure the good work of his ship while in port. It was not a requirement for the commanding officer of a naval ship of the line to order up the jolly boat 8 strong bikes to man the oars along with the bosun and the sideboards to send the old shipmate ashore. Ashore to his retirement home. Ashore, never to set sail on a naval ship again. All hands on deck was passed. The crew fell in at parade rest for muster. The commanding officer will make a speech telling about the retiree service, the great battles fought upon the seas, victories, storms, weather, the voyages to strange and distant lands, protocols visited that others can only dream about. He will also speak of shipmates left behind. The bosun will stand tall, the sideboards and the crew will call to attention, and then the retiree will step up to the quarterdeck, salute the commanding officer, and request permission to go ashore. Permission granted. The retiree will step onto the platform and salute the flag he served, and then the retiree will be seated in the stern seats of the jolly boat, going ashore. As the sideboard lowered away the jolly boat and the bosun called, the ship's gunner will fire a final salute from the ship's main battery. The United States Navy was the first to provide side honors to its enlisted crewmen. In the early to mid 1800s, enlisted men were holding retirements for their enlisted shipmates. After the Civil War, the commanding officers would take part in these enlisted retirements to show that he and the Navy recognized the contributions made by the enlisted men. And still today, we have to stop all engines, lay about smartly, drop anchor, and stand by to pay honor to one of our shipmates. A shipmate going ashore to honor those years served, the guidance, the leadership, the expertise, and above all, the friendship that this shipmate has given these past 20 years. Bosun, stand by the pipe side, shipmate going ashore. Commodore Appleby will now present Chief Morale's Fleet Reserve Certificate. Fleet Reserve of the United States Navy. This was certified that Chief Petty Officer Operations Specialist Alexander Morale was transferred from active duty to the Fleet Reserve of the United States Navy on the 31st day of May 2019 after 20 years of service. This certificate is awarded as a testimony of faithful and honorable service. Signed, Corey R. Appleby, Captain, United States Navy, Commander, Service Division 2-1. Will the guests please rise and remain standing for the benediction and departure honors. The benediction will be given by Senior Chief Petty Officer Retired Eddie Mitchell.
Let's bow our heads. I'd like to thank you for this beautiful ceremony today and the future that is being held for Chief Morale and his family. We give all honor and praise in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. For everybody the Father sees, Amen.
Chief Morale will now request permission to go ashore one last time. All Chief Petty Officers, man the rails. Chief Operations Specialist, Alexander Morale, United States Navy, retired, departed. It has become customary following their retirement for the family to be short, honoring them for the contributions to their husband, father, son, and mother's career. And come on with it. Navy family departing.